I've always been fascinated by the stories of creative geniuses who credited stillness for their breakthroughs. Take, for example, the famous artist Vincent van Gogh. He would often take long walks in the countryside, observing the natural world and letting his mind wander. It was during these moments of stillness that he found inspiration for some of his most iconic paintings. But here's the paradox. Stillness and creativity often seem like opposing forces. We think that to be creative, we need to be constantly active, always pushing ourselves to the next level. But what if I told you that stillness is actually the key to unlocking your full creative potential? Can we harness the power of stillness to fuel our creativity? What happens when we quiet the mind and tap into the present moment? These are the questions I want to explore in this video. By the end of this journey, you'll gain insights from Zen philosophy and neuroscience on how to cultivate stillness and spark innovative thinking. You'll learn practical tools to quiet the mind, focus your attention, and tap into the creative potential that lies within you. So, let's embark on this journey together and discover the power of stillness. Let's explore how stillness can help us tap into our creative potential, overcome creative blocks, and live a more fulfilling life. In the stillness of a Zen monastery, a young monk named Kaito sat cross-legged on the floor, his eyes closed and his breath steady. He had been practicing zazen, seated meditation, for months, and yet he still struggled to quiet his mind. As he sat, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the nearby trees, and Kaito felt a sense of calm wash over him. In that moment, he realized that stillness wasn't about achieving a specific state, but rather about embracing the reality of the present moment. This concept, known as suchness or tathata in Zen philosophy, is the reality of the present moment, unfiltered by our thoughts, emotions, or perceptions. It's the awareness that arises when we let go of our attachments to the past or future and simply be with what is. In this state, creativity can flourish, unencumbered by the constraints of our ego or preconceptions. As Kaito continued to sit, he began to notice the subtle sounds of the monastery. The creaking of the wooden floorboards, the chirping of birds outside, and the soft hum of the wind. These sounds, once distractions, now became the background music for his creative process. Ideas began to arise, not as a result of forced thinking, but as a natural consequence of his stillness. This is the relationship between stillness and creativity, allowing ideas to arise naturally without the need for forced effort or control. It's the understanding that creativity is not something we can manufacture, but rather something that emerges from the depths of our being when we're willing to let go and be present. In Zen practice, this concept is often referred to as beginner's mind. It's the mindset of approaching problems with a fresh, open perspective, unencumbered by our preconceptions or assumptions. It's the willingness to start anew, to see things from a different angle, and to approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and wonder. As Kaito continued to sit, he felt his mind begin to open, like a lotus flower unfolding its petals. He realized that stillness wasn't just a means to an end, but an end in itself. It was the doorway to a world of creativity, innovation, and inspiration, where ideas flowed freely and the boundaries of the self were transcended. In this state, Kaito felt a sense of freedom, a sense of liberation from the constraints of his own mind. He knew that he could approach any problem, any challenge, with a sense of confidence and creativity, knowing that the answers would arise naturally, like a lotus flower blooming in the stillness of the morning dew. The brain's default mode network, DMN, plays a significant role in creativity. When we're in a state of stillness, our DMN is more active, allowing for increased connectivity between different brain regions. This, in turn, enables us to access a wider range of thoughts, ideas. Stillness has a profound impact on our brain's structure and function. Studies have shown that regular stillness can lead to increased gray matter in areas responsible for attention, emotion regulation, and memory. This means that we become better at focusing, managing our emotions, and recalling information. One of the most fascinating aspects of stillness is its ability to synchronize brain waves. When we're in a state of stillness, our brain waves slow down, and we enter a state of alpha, theta, or delta brain waves. This synchronization allows for increased communication between different brain regions, leading to novel connections and insights. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive function, decision-making, and creativity, is also heavily involved in stillness and creativity. When we're in a state of stillness, our prefrontal cortex is more active, allowing for increased creativity, problem-solving, and innovative thinking. In essence, stillness is not just a state of relaxation. It's a powerful tool for unlocking our creative potential. By harnessing the power of stillness, we can tap into our brain's full capacity for creativity, leading to breakthroughs and innovations that might have otherwise remained elusive. As we explore the world of stillness and creativity, it's essential to acknowledge the obstacles that often stand in our way. Anxiety, distraction, and self-doubt are common culprits that can sabotage our ability to focus and tap into our creative potential. In today's digital age, technology has become a significant barrier to stillness. Social media notifications, and the constant ping of emails can create a sense of perpetual distraction. We're constantly being pulled in multiple directions, making it challenging to quiet the mind and settle into a state of stillness. But there's another, more insidious barrier: the pressure to constantly produce and create. We're often driven by the need to achieve more, and to achieve faster. This productivity trap can lead to burnout, creative exhaustion, and a sense of being stuck. And then there's the concept of creative blocks. These are periods of time when we feel like we're not producing anything of value, when our ideas seem stale, and when we're struggling to find inspiration. It's as if we've hit a wall, and no matter how hard we try, we can't seem to break through. But here's the thing: stillness can help us overcome these barriers. By quieting the mind and tuning into our inner world, we can tap into a deeper source of creativity and inspiration. We can break free from the pressure to constantly produce and create, and instead focus on the process of creating for its own sake. In the next section, we'll explore some practical tools for cultivating stillness and creativity. But for now, let's acknowledge the obstacles that often stand in our way and commit to exploring the power of stillness to overcome them. As we explore the intersection of stillness and creativity, it's essential to have practical tools to help us cultivate this mindset. Let's dive into 6 powerful techniques to help you tap into your creative potential. Imagine yourself in a peaceful forest, surrounded by towering trees and the soothing sounds of nature. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. As you inhale, feel your body relax, and as you exhale, feel your mind calm. Bring your attention to the present moment and allow yourself to let go of any thoughts or distractions. Simply be and allow yourself to settle into stillness. This exercise is a simple yet powerful tool for grounding yourself in the present moment. By focusing on your senses, you'll bring your attention back to the present moment and cultivate a sense of calm and clarity. Journaling is a powerful tool for clarifying your thoughts and ideas. Take a few minutes each day to write down your thoughts, feelings, and insights. Don't worry about grammar or spelling, just let your thoughts flow onto the page. This will help you process your emotions, gain clarity, and tap into your creative potential. The Pomodoro technique is a time management method that involves working in focused 25-minute increments, followed by a 5-minute break. This technique can help you stay focused and avoid burnout. By incorporating regular breaks, you'll be able to recharge and refocus, allowing you to approach your work with a fresh and creative mindset. Nature has a profound impact on our creativity and well-being. Take a walk outside and allow yourself to immerse in the sights, sounds, and sounds of nature. Notice the way the light filters through the trees, the sound of birds chirping, and the smell of fresh air. By connecting with nature, you'll tap into your creative potential and cultivate a sense of calm and clarity. Meet Sarah, a talented artist who struggled with creative blocks and self-doubt. She felt stuck and uncertain about her work, and her confidence was at an all-time low. One day, Sarah discovered the power of stillness and meditation. She began practicing regularly, and slowly but surely, her creative blocks began to flow away. She started to see the world in a new light, and her art began to flourish. Today, Sarah is a successful artist, known for her vibrant and thought-provoking pieces. She credits stillness and meditation for helping her tap into her creative potential and achieve her dreams. As we delve into the depths of the creative process, it's essential to acknowledge that uncertainty is an inherent part of the journey. We've all been there, staring at a blank canvas, wondering where to begin, or feeling stuck in a rut with no clear direction. It's as if we're trying to force the creative process, rather than allowing it to unfold naturally. This is where the concept of non-attachment comes into play. Non-attachment is not about being detached or apathetic. It's about releasing our attachment to specific outcomes and expectations. When we let go of the need for control, we create space for the unknown to emerge. We begin to trust that our intuition will guide us and that the creative process will unfold in its own unique way. Think of it like this. Imagine you're on a hike and you're not sure where the trail leads. You could try to force your way through the dense forest, or you could take a deep breath, trust your instincts, and follow the path as it unfolds. The latter approach requires a level of surrender and trust in the unknown. In the creative process, this means embracing the uncertainty and allowing ourselves to be guided by our intuition. It's okay to not know what to do next. In fact, it's more than okay, it's essential. When we surrender to the unknown, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and new possibilities alone. As the great Zen master, Dogen, once said, to study the Buddha way is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. In other words, when we let go of our attachment to our ego and our ego's need for control, we can tap into a deeper sense of purpose and creativity. Practice mindfulness and presence in your daily life, allowing yourself to stay grounded and focused in the present moment. Engage in activities that bring you joy and help you tap into your creative potential, such as painting, writing, or playing music. Take risks and step outside your comfort zone, allowing yourself to explore new possibilities and new possibilities alone. Practice self-compassion and kindness towards yourself, acknowledging that it's okay to make mistakes and that you're doing the best you can. By embracing the unknown and trusting the creative process, we can tap into a deeper sense of purpose and creativity. We can allow ourselves to be guided by our intuition and trust that the creative process will unfold in its own unique way. As the great poet Rumi once said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." In other words, our creative process is not about avoiding pain or discomfort, but about embracing it as an opportunity for growth and transformation. You know, stillness isn't just something we practice on a meditation cushion or in a quiet room. It's something we can bring into every aspect of our lives. Let me give you an example. Have you ever been in a meeting or a conversation where you felt like you were just going through the motions? You're not really listening, you're not really present, and you're not really contributing. That's not stillness. That's just going through the motions. But what if you were to approach that meeting or conversation with stillness? What if you were to listen deeply, to really hear what the other person is saying, and to respond with empathy and understanding? That's a powerful way to build connections and to create something new. Let me give you another example. Have you ever been eating a meal and you're not really tasting the food? You're not really savoring the flavors, the textures, and the aromas. That's not stillness. That's just going through the motions. But what if you were to approach eating with stillness? What if you were to slow down, to really pay attention to the food, and to enjoy the experience of eating? That's a powerful way to cultivate gratitude and to appreciate the simple things in life. The same thing applies to our work. We often get caught up in the hustle and bustle of productivity, and we forget to be still. We forget to take a deep breath, to listen to our intuition, and to trust our instincts. But what if we were to approach our work with stillness? What if we were to slow down, to really focus on the task at hand, and to trust that we have the skills and the abilities to get it done? These are just a few examples of how we can bring stillness into our everyday lives. We can apply Zen principles to our relationships, our work, and our daily activities. We can cultivate mindfulness, presence, and empathy, and we can create something new and beautiful. So, I want to encourage you to experiment with stillness in your own life. Try approaching a conversation or a meeting with stillness. Try eating a meal with stillness. Try approaching your work with stillness. See what happens when you slow down, when you listen deeply, and when you trust your instincts. Remember, stillness is not just something we practice on a meditation cushion or in a quiet room. It's something we can bring into every aspect of our lives. And when we do, we can create something truly remarkable. As we come to the end of this journey, I want to leave you with a few key takeaways that I hope will stay with you long after this video ends. First, let's talk about the power of stillness. We've explored how stillness can spark creativity, calm the mind, and even improve our focus and productivity. But stillness is not just a tool for achieving specific goals. It's a way of being that can transform our entire lives. When we cultivate stillness, we begin to tap into the present moment. We let go of distractions, worries about the future. We become more aware of our thoughts, emotions, and emotions. And in that awareness, we find a sense of clarity, purpose. The second key takeaway is the importance of mindfulness and presence. Mindfulness is not just a practice, it's a way of living. It's about being fully engaged in the present moment without judgment or attachment. When we're mindful, we're more aware of our thoughts, emotions. We're more compassionate, patient, and understanding. And finally, let's talk about the role of trust and surrender in the creative process. When we trust that our ideas will arise naturally, we're no longer trying to force them. We're no longer trying to control the outcome. We're simply allowing ourselves to be present, to be still, and to let the ideas flow. So what does this mean for you? It means that stillness is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a journey of discovery, growth. It's a journey of becoming more aware, more compassionate, and more creative. As you continue on this journey, I encourage you to experiment with stillness in your own life. Try incorporating mindfulness practices, such as meditation or journaling, into your daily routine. Take time to be still, to listen, and to observe. And most importantly, trust that your ideas will arise naturally without forcing them. As the great Zen master, Shunryu Suzuki, once said, "The more still we are, the more we can create." I believe that's true not just for artists, but for anyone who wants to live a more creative, fulfilling life. So I want to leave you with a final thought. The more still we are, the more we can create. May you continue to explore the intersection of Zen and creativity. May you find stillness in the midst of chaos. And may you create from a place of peace, clarity. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, help us reach more awesome people like you by hitting the like button and subscribing. It really makes a difference. Thanks, and see you in the next one.